was here for me, Mama Joe, me, Mama Joe, the bat rich more EFISEM so ene. Ya dynamic trade yampon kwa me nase. Na dom ne ne humobro. Ene nso waya anwanwade waya ade foforo na wama ne nyina aye nwanwa. Ye daye so for ye sorry ye na okra ye na basa. Enkonimdie eye ne dia. Eno nti se enne me ne omi enu be ya adwen se ye wonkwa ne wa ahoden na keche mada abodwem ne moja di afusane a na ya adom. Na ya adom. Yo, ene ade a metumi aka ho asem kakra bi ne se efie bia wo ho abusua na Bible ma yete ase se efie a emu acheche no eya na Satan buwrem. Intuition Mark 3:25 also if a house is divided against itself that house cannot stand. Enti abusua bia ewo ho ana efie bia ewo ho se wantwi ani twitwi ebem na se se abusua no da bia we se we atimi we akamea se abusua no ntimi nyina esan se ekwan ebeda won ho ema Satan ebem eno nti nani ameka ne se ene wo tie me na wo hwe me a sani abusua ne tie bia no esen ene ketrema ekon eno nti se se ne ketrema kode a na abusua nso ana aware yire ani kunu kasakasa betumi aba ba kasakasa ne ba bomoden na make sure say wo be resolve niema na wanya wonua na wonua nso enya na wanya wo yire na woni wo yire nso enya ni kunu nti ene anadwe asantefo mpoka say praye wo hoi uyi ba ko a ebu ba okabo mu a emu nti onua ene anadwe ni amene wo kan se se bia konsum papa mu ne ntitimu aba say ya sorry say ye fiem say ye abusua say ye adwumam wherever it is no say ye kabo mu a yetimi eye mu a na ejina na se yetitimu a egu eno nti na ena anadwe ni a medi beja wo no se woni bia anya asem se woni wo yire nkasa woni wo kunu nkasa EFISEM breni ni aye ka kire wa ne se efie a emotete no enyina but efie kabom ne gina no eye fie a oye bribia ebom na me mawadwo e de ba EFISEM so God bless you yo atiefo ene anadwi me de asem de bi bremo because enipa ene matonsa afre no oye nipa titru no oye nipa kese na mindi ne ho agro nene se menya na kire se nhira na bi aka mo ba bi awo bia yo etiefo mi awo be ya ama me ni misrew se wo tie mi a bomoden na share link no eno nkoa ni ade a wo ya amani beje wo ho share link no na se wo share link na wo nua bi nso a share ama obi na waya ama we no na chese waya ama urade because nsem na ye betie no ye di sika eneto but ye de ye fa ni free nti ena anadwi tena wakonwam meba wo fie meba wo ka mu ba bia wo bia no tenem ene de agro ne be ye de because mi nua bia ono so chese acha chenso nanse mi hu ne wo me line so nti God bless you Auntie Shirley nti me EFISEM ene ba bia wo bia no bomoden na fa wakonya na bre ni be introduce me guest actual enye obia na emum eye opanyini nice gentleman oyire baako ekunu very handsome man noble ene na nyano ewo mahoma esu a there is no other person or elder Ntim sana me friend but a friend Mr. Emmanuel Ntim eno ntina Mr. Emmanuel, yes. Akwaba eba Richmond Media so.
But that's it.
Oh. Nene, bibia boko, baby, I free badi nyina ho boko.
Oh, Nyameda Roma, Sana Unimino, what the Ambe do Fieboko.
Eda yesasi. Eda yesasi. Honestly, I'm glad and honored for you to be on my program. And yeah, and I have been wanted for you to come on this show by God's grace. And this is the day that the Lord has made, and I will be glad and rejoice in it because Elder Ntim and na enemy wahano. Hey, and you be cansem. So we need be ya, and I say we fa penny pipa na nsɛm bɛn na yɛde ɛbrɛ wo. Nsɛm a yɛde brɛ wo no ɛyɛ ade a abusua biara hia. Abusua biara hia kyerɛ sɛ efie biara wɔ emu ntotoyɛ ɛne wɔn sikasɛm sɛnea esitie. Abusua biara wɔ wɔn sikasɛm sɛnea esitie. Ɛna efie biara wɔ ne sikasɛm, asɔre wɔ ne sikasɛm, adwuma wɔ ne sikasɛm. Na yɛ sikasɛm betumi ayɛ yi a ne gyina sɛnea yɛbɛsi atoto no afa. Efie betumi agyina na ɛbɛyɛ branea. Ne wɔ sɛnea yɛbɛsi ayɛ yɛn sikasɛm afa. Ɛno nti ɛnɛ nea yɛreka ne sɛ baabi a wɔ bi a abɔmmɔden na bra yɛ line yi so na betie. Na ɛnɛ yɛ title anaasɛ yɛ topic no ɛne sɛ effective financial management at home. Sɛn ɛna yɛbɛsi ade yɛ sikasɛm ni anaasɛ nhyehyɛeɛ bɛn na yɛbɛtumi ayɛ ama yɛn sikasɛm ɛwɔ fie biara mu a ɛde ahotɔ ɛne anigyeɛ ɛbɛba abusuam. Ɛno nti na ɛnɛ anadwo yi, papa a mene ne bɛdidi nkɔmmɔ yi, ɔba abɛkyerɛkyerɛ yɛn mu. Nti nyabotrɛ, owie a asɛm bi a wopɛ bi a wobɛtumi nso abisa. Ɛno ɛna yɛba abɛkɔ so yi. Elda, mepakyɛw ɛnɛ meda ase sɛ waba. Na nea ɛdi kan no, menim yɛ sɛ wowɔ plans a wode ɛba abɛma yɛn yɛ wo present biribi a wopɛ sɛ woka. Nanso mɛtumi abisa adeɛ baako. Say, what are some key principles of effective financial management at home?
But that's it. Anti-gift. Oh, in fact, Nana Fobi. That's it. I was here for Madam as some friend. Effective financial management at home, dear. Back up pan is our planning. You should recognize, sir. We are say a normal Moses, we are say yading. And I'm so from the Ntim into do a bia, Madame will be from Kakra. Meaning say I tear for the I be a money and Christopher, and so we do Babia as a Christian Bible as some Kakrabe from the farmer Monfanchame, but Nyansama woman, Mama Yenina, and Fana Fee and Fanya Duma. Auntie, Nina, a chas here from thinking ahead and say, oh, planning. The Ben now, Pessa. Nti wote hɔ paa na sɛ wode baabi a woyɛ adwuma wonyɛ sika na wadi naasɛ biribi si w'ani so a wopɛ sɛ woyɛ nti ɛhyɛ aseɛ with planning. Planning no bi sɛ woyɛ yɛwɔ long term plan na yɛwɔ medium term and then short term plan. Nti long term plan sɛ bi a wopɛ sɛ wotɔ fie anaasɛ bi a wokɔ school bi ɛkɔduru baabi anaasɛ bi a wosi dan bi ɛwɔ fie anaasɛ ɛha whatever it is, yeah, it takes some time and a long term plan. Now, your medium term plan, and also, I did be our between 2 to 3, 4 years time. No, also achieve ebia no beboa ma se na wabrabom city asisi na asesa kakra nti se ebia school na opese wo kwa in the next 2-3 years no ebia ho chebe bade na so wonko school no nwie no na wono masesa nti ebia sisi a woko school na of we adwuma na onya bia 20,000 a year ebia wonim se woko school no bia betumanya 30 or 35 and because eno no bebo wa akopim se wodi ebenyi akọ retirement nti no no ye so important so we dwen ho and I want the short term plan so me say ebia obey budget budget no is so important because sometimes you travel car na say unyam plan ye somebody we be say okay o sika no ebe den ebesa na unya hu de this kana ya afide obo kwa account na asa na sika ide ya friend say ya de den na sign bo se na ba ko start ya ki su the other person ana da bia we adwuma so me hu bi do sika na fa so na bia na unyam plan ye nti sika na ba na da to bia anyhow nti planning no bi ni say obey long term medium term and ya finish say short term would be busy one so na fe on the short term no obey budget na obey discipline is saying there what there see one is so say no ma wani nko ho na fe make sure say maybe no na all review okay say me madru he na de be na mefa me de be improve I think say we are bibia ni ho a etena ho da all the time and until when crowd ya bi wetima bobom na fe asisa nti say we plan na wa makwan abeda ho kakra say be ya bibi ba obetima ye den obetima nti me fa na say bia na enim say pandemic bi ba wa ho na pandemic ba be say no mapi nti say ade bi na wo that asi one so for a long time na fe your friend is saying would a plan for your future academic born you na for there I say no man na oh yeah then I say we are flexible say no I say me dey we to kakra in the meantime na fe me deal with the short term problems you know na fe normal start here fe na say go back to it nti we are planning no na we are discipline no I say we my room e better ho say be ya say normal sisa na wontumi enya obetumi di bi ato ho na fe what deal with the current issues now afraid you can go back to the long term plans and also so I think say yeah, budgeting is one of them but budgeting no could be a long term or medium term or short term but discipline and flexibility is very important when we talk about say finances and what.
You, me that's it, papa. Elder, Elder de na no esi ana se opese mbisa ne bibi nti na ho ayi din bo.
Oh, the time I didn't say, "What be some question?" Me feel say be market
All
surgery.
right.
If you have question, I say, "What further question?" Maybe say.
Me that's it, papa. And then I'm making kind of idea what is so. Oh, shall you be nyami shroud? Unity is the word. Aye, no cray. Aye, Benny love. Or no so say. Or no, dear, I say good evening, family. Aye, proper planning. Oh no, dear, that the end so which is also money knows what dear so, and that's how you pepper because we are shall be who say think ahead planning. And now your friend is a long-term planning, short-term planning, medium planning. Yeah, then yanko pass when na discipline. Your elder, you patch watch the chim. Who bibi particular the my and I say main pharmacy mumra, but say be na wash she bibia, who pesa would ma if ye be mu ehu here say ye be effective planning. In today na wo e de my
One say, you know, him say, we are see normal most in 2008 and 2009, no na financial crisis globally. We are seeing there was a lot of financial problems. The governments individuals and businesses in ɛho kyerɛ wɔn ɛna ɛnam mua na ɛnɔma pick it up. If you 2022 urban so it was worse because the normal PCC normal SCC being a pandemic number one. Yeah, so there's a rising inflation. SCC na eba down kakra because very at the moment it's 4%, but a few months ago now 11%. Now rising inflation means prices of goods and services cost. Yɛnim sɛ Russia ne Ukraine war no so any effect wɔ wiase mu. Yɛnim sɛ China ne Taiwan almost there is some kind of tension bi wɔ hɔ a sɛ yɛnyɛ dɛ ho mmɔ mpaeɛ a ɛbɛtumi de ntɔkwa foforɔ bi abɛpue. Yɛnim Brexit ne ɛho consequences. Sisi a sɛ wokɔ shop especially in the evening a wohu sɛ in the evening wohu sɛ normal sometimes come shop no it's all because of the consequences of Brexit because normal the shops in the free overseas in Ebanti because of the tightening of the rules regarding movement of goods and services, and Tiama and Moment Santi, Ubon say we do a benessa, and Tiama no man so boy in Kakra. Israeli Palestinian war in Swazia, I was in the pay wound the Kanka home. Minina Akofa as a world economic crisis na Akofa the cost of living, inflation, cost of living, currency be depreciated. So Mbekaya and Chebiana, Ghana, Sikanaka, Kamao, so many other countries, and Ghana, Nigeria, and other things, even UK Crampo, yet they get worse. Kakra bi UK nka yɛn nso krampo yɛ kɔ recession kɛseɛ paa nka yɛbɛyɛ bankrupt krampo. Ne nyinaa yɛ part of the problems that we face in our world today. Interest rate nso kɔ soro because yɛpɛ sɛ ɔmo reduce inflation. Fuel prices kɔ soro, aduane bɔ kɔ soro, utilities kɔ soro. Wobɛkae some 2-3 years ni sɛna fuel bɔ ase akɔ soro no. Talking about utilities. 2-3 years ago, Namitua about £92 a month for gas and electricity. Now, the minimum I pay is about £240 a month, which means our finances and so will be affected. Even if you have a child at old school, man, they also feel. Almost kuma aduane a wɔtɔ di no nso ne bɔ akɔ soro kakra. Woman is kakra bi a na abɔ sɛ asan na ɔsan bɛgye bi maka ho. It's all because wɔn aduane bi a na wɔtɔ no £2.50 sisi adu £3. It's affecting that. And so the issue is yɛbɛtumi abu yɛn agu so ana yɛntumi mu yɛn agu so because ne nyinaa affecting yɛn so individuals and families. Ɛno nti na ɛsɛ sɛ yɛ planning. Say you can't Matthew 24, the whole of 24 now. See, we are saying about these are some of the things that will come. And say who say it is here to stay, and yes, be able completely. I completely say yes, beba. And say your family there now, given essay home. The essay home is a planning. So normal essay planning, been said. As I say, you come together as a family, you sit down together. Sometimes we think, say, we are parents and any income and young one as a plan. But sometimes when you bring the children together, you can plan even better than say more planning. I have said this again and again. Say there was a time many could no etnas na yɛdi nkɔmmɔ na mekyerɛ wɔn sika yɛnya ne expenses a ɛyɛ mema wɔn fa pen paper wɔn twitwi no nyinaa wie wɔn adding up how much do we earn that how much do we spend on this on that ɛtwitwi no nyinaa na ehu sɛ saa yɛnya sika no bi nka And then one of them says, "Oh, Daddy, I'm very sorry because sometimes now not going to say you were unlimited amount of money in our pockets in our bank accounts, and um, that is why I'm saying says all planning as a all day and chronic home so yeah important. At the end of the day, yeah, as parents, most of the planning is for the future of the children. And yeah, the omoka ho no muhu ni ayepese ye ne more considerate and they will support us to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is very important.
Okay.
Um, sometimes I won't say your company pension scheme, be more your state pension. I no no. So local pension I buy be more sikabi. Now so I buy who say that is not enough. When you go on pension to I buy company say
Mm-hmm.
more for me pension scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Now say obiara till national insurance. I don't know part of it effort towards your friend say state pension, but yɛn san gye additional kakra yɛmfa mfiri hɔ na company no nso mfa bi nka ho na yɛmfa nto hɔ ma wo nti ɛndu sɛ wonkɔ pension na wogye company deɛ no a na wogye government deɛ no a together no ebi a ɛbɛtumi aboa wo more than sɛ we rely on the government pension no nko a and there's one thing I'm who say nipa pii yeah I will say I'm opting out the
Mm-hmm.
opt out I not compulsory with my opt out say I don't want it but it also means probably you are planning um against that. Nti sɛ wo plan it now if you say wobɛtumi ayɛ discipline as save ade bi ayɛ more than you get from the company pension and as a company scheme now that is okay. But then it's also personal pension as a private pension in addition to the company pension which one of the insurance companies and as a banks those kind of pensions I don't know it's better than say we save sika because sika biara a wode ɛbɛkɔto hɔ no a tax na wɔtua wɔ so
Right.
ansa na saa sika no ɔmo san gye de ka ho which means sɛ wo sika no sɛ ebi a £100 na wode kɔto hɔ a £80 a ɔmo bɛkɔ akɔgye bi aka na bɛyɛ £100 na afei ɔmo invest na sika no ɛkɔ so ɛno no sika bi a ɛba ho biara no wontua tax wɔ so gye sɛ ɛdu sɛ wokɔ pension na wogye sika no back a ɛnna sɛ wo sika no dɔɔso a bi a wobɛtua tax wɔ so nanso wo save towards that no deɛ wontua tax wɔ so nti sɛ bi a wowɔ state pension wɔ hɔ na woadwene ne company pension scheme na
Mm.
afei san ɛwɔ personal pension ɛno mpo deɛ option a wobɛhu sɛ ɛndu sɛ wonkɔ yɛfrɛ no sɛ pension no na sɛ wonni sika bi koraa da hɔ a which in most occasions is difficult to get sɛ wɔndu sɛ wonkɔ pension mo wɔ 50 100,000 200,000 da hɔ but so when you wake not enough for you to pay for your bills, not for you to be to 2 points. So that is one of the things I would like to talk about.
That's. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes whilst things are getting worse and worse,
Mm-hmm.
you will be or you taste pan, you will taste for quality goods, very
Stop.
expensive goods. Whilst that is the case, so no man is sana say officer so we continue with that now about affect your finances and I say with long-term plans there's no harm in trying to switch from your usual normal and now we use to a bit of a cheaper source because you
Mm.
can get an alternative
Right.
a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But while doing that, the warning is don't compromise with your health. Say, oh, because
Exactly. Can that be bisa?
sika no ɛnso no nti mekɔ akɔtɔ ade bi a
Therefore,
but
now
wobɛtumi
what?
akɔtɔ apple ɛwɔ you know Lidl
Let
na the same thing na bɛkɔ akɔtɔ wɔ maybe
Sainsbury's.
Sainsbury's anaasɛ bi a Waitrose will be a bit higher in
Mm.
terms of price but they will all do the same trick nti you can switch somehow without affecting your
Or health.
And there's something that is also recommended. Say, try and do as much as possible so we know aduane wɔ fie than say most of the time but aduane wɔ abɔnten, because we know say it's more expensive buying from outside than if you. That being said, doesn't mean say from time to time and say as a family the moko out the moko didi. I know of Obia for years on call out running in Mampie across some MP and I and then the children see other children go out. They want to have good memories of you. The beyond native is a memory. They remember that, but occasional, outing, na bia moko to be near other things, good impression and memories of you. And that affect their relationship on their attitude towards you when you grow as well. And let's take good care of our children and try and make them happy.
Care of us
You
also.
don't have to be very, very rich before you can do that. But we
Right.
should try and do that, especially when it comes to the children. We should try and teach them how to cook. Let them know how to cook their favorite food. Your favorite food. Let them learn how to cook those favorite foods. So that university and I say free home no, they can cook it rather than buying it, and then they can save more money. And
All right.
that is one thing. There's a lot that I want to talk about.
But
Many,
because I have some questions here and say also bisa.
oh
Thank
right,
you, Mr. George Corn, from watching us from Volta region live. Thank
oh
you and
right.
God bless you. Elder, if Mr. Ntim, because the yes, I want to mean Kawasimi, Mr. Ntim. I'm saying, how can individual create a budget that works for their specific financial situation? Ebe yɛdɛn ɛna obiara tumi ahyehyɛ budget anaa budget koraa no ntwi ɔyɛ nhyehyɛeɛ ɛde ama.
Sika ho hyehyɛ. Ohun say budget biara egina dia esi wani sisi a opese oyɛ.
Mhm,
Enti na esi wani sisi a opese oyɛ no. Ɛna ɛsɛ sɛ woyɛ ho budget. And I said the other biara woyɛ no. Nti ebia what plans for medium or long term, and I hear what the usuals, which is the recurring expenditure. But budget be I started with your income. And we're looking at family income. And kuno unya 1,500, unya 1,000. That's 2,500. But munim say be a mutual rent to say. Munim say mutual electricity and gas to say. Munim say mutual telephone, TV, internet. Transportation, and then can come and also maybe a crime more credit card be as a mutua every month. A bit so alone as a mutua a home a BB all the time. Now all these things and you have to think about it and put it together. So
mhm,
after what compare until what list will expenses now we are sorry near sorry and so then I'm offering and your friend is saying tight. And then so you have to factor that into your expenses. And as I say, who say, and you know, man, now bit my dream home.
ewuo bɛba ne ade.
And I be a cry, no marketing to do her, and all the time now to answer. I was so many so now I did be a while, and I said, be as I said, this can be chill, be the I can't count. All these things in a self factor into that, into factoring into that way. Maybe I cry our parents that I tell you, so come on, baby. Now what's sending in Nafi would I compare with income? My income is 2,500. Expenses is sending in I see your friend is saying 2,700. Hey, and Sabosumi be a spend this year and then Abosumi be a bedeka. And what can we do? As I said, normally, either so be increase your income, no, and now be decrease your expenses, And um, first of all, let's consider your income. Possible so bet my increase your income. maybe it's very difficult. Where you have to do some extra work
Work.
overtime, and I say
Nasa
maybe
baby.
you have to look for another job somewhere. Or a bit more multitask, and I say or employable, which means say adwuma a wɔyɛ dada no ɔtumi yɛ adwuma foforɔ bi ka ho nti na most people yɛ adwuma so na ɔmo san wɔ ebi a ɔmo yɛ taxi adwuma kakra bi anwummerɛ bi na wakɔpɛ kakra bɛka ho ɛno no ɛboa ma ɔtumi meet wɔ expenses no. But if it is not possible, then you look at your expenses. Well, rent there unless probably you want to move away to a place or bet you less rent, and then you look at your utilities. Hey, is it any way I make me a faso? I prefer by beer.
Switch. Yeah.
Or yeah, for kakra. And you can say for internet by there, you can always do comparison, and then you can see where it is cheaper. Maybe like I said, £10, 50, £15, £20 be. Now so that can also pay for something. You look at maybe your upkeep. How much do you usually spend? I know say some people, Madam Fobi a minimum. Every half week be 3, 4, 5 days be a shopping. Why can't you go and buy them in bulk? Because you know you at the end of the month, maybe I'm not what the body your friend say, on the box and what the that or half of that. I didn't think I'm going to box. That would be cheaper. And I said buy them cotton box because it's cheaper than buying them in singles. So be able to buy them back home. That is more expensive. And if you now think about how to save money in terms of your shopping, you can now think about buying them in bulk at time. And then you think about yeah, telephone no the contract what can I do? Or be per se or send a phone every 2 years. And grab be on a phone grandpa and say and to say 2 years now, so that's a phone is still very good. You don't need to go for a new contract and pay higher because we know that the keep on increasing. Why don't you keep the old phone and go for SIM only, which will be about half of what you normally pay? And then you will save with about £10 there. That in the 24 months, we're talking about £240. That can pay for something. You can get the say, me two me save. Now, what if Jeffrey say, oh, a bit more save £400 if we do this. But Emra started here, no, me have me income, no, expenses, na okay, deficit by 250. And say a bit more save 400 there. Now, Andrea, if we do by Bino Crampona, we have enough to save. In fact, I would discourage anyone from saving if your income is not enough for your usual expenses. So, be how I say, in percent save, and the second answer will save. Obi kura te mo kɔbɔ bosia sɛ ɔde kɔtɔ aduane di ɛwɔ mmerɛ a na ɔresave. I mean, savings should be the last because
no, nanka mbebisa mum. Na sɛ wonte aseɛ ta na kyerɛ sɛ ɔsɛ ɔkyerɛ ase.
and one who said you have something in mind, I'll say, but interest as I said, oh yes, and the cool. So I want your usual daily living should be number one and sana. Because I want to man live where and I say who are down on a cruise, now I think about now first and then think about future. What the future but now obeha or now no. But your now is very important. And make sure say obi wakra say okay me person your project fine. I mean any project in now I say obeti must save sika ansa na why then wakwakoye. Bi o ha say obobosia. Until you might want to borrow something like 20,000 in the Kwakoye project be. But the issue is, so if you income, no now if you expenses now. That's the repayment for the loan no beka ho. Usika na unya no ebeso ana. Obi wo ha on check is out. Nti bo say okoje loan or the loan so akwakoye ade a emfa sika ma. So or maybe in the meantime emfa sika ma. But then because of the repayment of the loan nti na afide ama ahokyere ba Nafi bobosia na okoji credit card. Nafi credit card charging interest, no penalties. Nafi the na why na half na your friend say the credit score na all say no. Afi kura okoto ade na interest na e charge no higher because your your friend is saying credit score no na determine your friend is saying interest on
Yeah.
the charge most of the things. And you don't want to spoil your credit
Credit.
history just because you actually needed money and you haven't planned. Until one who says, "Okodi loan na repayment no beka ho a ontumi meet you normal expenditure no nti ebema ho achiro." I also know people, and seriously though, obetumi ebe say na bank afro say, "Oh, based on your finances fine, obetumi abege loan." Yenya kan ya pay you 20,000 ya makwakoje. Obekwakoje loan no ba beto ansa na wa plan their opposite there. If you do that, you misuse the money. Because the first thing that comes to mind then is they be na me pese me ye. Abo say oh bi kra bobet ma bobi bosia wo. Ma hu obi a wakobo bosia di akobo bosia.
Can you
Oh,
imagine?
charge with interest. Wo so wo de abo bi bosia one charge the interest. Akro no so also between 1 month. This is 2 years and 12 years. Otua so otua na kiten. Oh, e she obotom bi akra cash. Oh, now what the na before you realize na sika na hye na fe was otua. Enti no, you have to sit down and plan on how you and what you want to use the money for. And then if you're satisfied, say me ko bosia na me repayment no be come expenses ho a me sika menya no e be so that. Enti I will go for it. Afei na wakwakoje. Na afei o make sure say obe monitor our expenses say be ya all the time no betumatua because omo a ye de omo ka no omo na contribute towards our credit. Utua ne ya credit me good. One tua ne ya credit me bad, and that affects a lot of your finances. Until that is one thing that I want to talk about because we don't have too much time. If we want to talk about but
Na me pese me bi okay we wo de no. So I no see baby and now pese wo de see.
whilst planning, no, you always should know, say there are people who are looking up to you. There are people who are looking up to you. Bimu wa for they need you to be there for them. Be your ma, be your woman, papa. There are some who really need you. And when you are planning, you have to factor that in. So one factor that in, that's a the people say,
Any Frenchman.
now either say ultimo koye din and I say okoye a be affect your finances. And say oh your budget. Na say oh trotro normal over spend this car ho. Yeah, think about nipa officer occasionally and I say usually no or support room. Say me say me kwa koma me ma miska every month that e betua me ka no. Say me tena ho man bo 12 and say na etua me ka 12 no boy na ma transfer ma miska koma no. Since me dati mani anapa normal miensa me tua me rent miska koma ma me tua me title and offering. Afina yaka no e ko e free mu kakra because no one be why say that wa kuma so this is what I want to do. You don't want to miss paying your rent. You don't want to miss showing love to your parents. That is your God-given responsibility. And if you have that in mind at all times, nobody is saying, say, I want to be bad, but you know your responsibility. The man Katawani was to say, oh, they should find their own way. Well, of course, maybe I'm a school or a pensioner, and maybe I was a pension kakra. But that is different from Obia Mami Uncle School and Asabia or now you're self-employed at home and you will need your friend is saying any form of income or support. And then you ignore her as if she doesn't exist. But if we were to think about that, you will know, say, and the truth is, yeah, my memono, near papa mono, on bompire chain, on bompire mayan chain, yeah, crampompire by home. So you should know, say, their presence is very important. And also, you don't know what you have until you lose it. There are a lot of people who have regretted not doing so much for their parents until when they have died. So you need to think about that as well. Anyway, Auntie, I mean, some question now.
Hey, Mama, now you're so interested. A honor, dear Korean, just say, the brave you be any good so. Yeah,
Yeah,
ma,
yeah.
I just say, we are saying, Ama, and Yema, and Sumu ayedin, and that sister, you can most of our people don't put their money together as a family. And you're not just say, and ye tea, near when they say, I was saying, sick as semono, ye near money, a busiano, send ye tibian. Yɛbɛ ka yɛ sika no abom ɛno na elder ɛkyerɛkyerɛ yɛn no ɛno nti na meka sɛ ebinom adwene yɛ wɔn sɛ sika a yɛnya no yɛn nko ara na yɛdi but I don't think sɛ saa na ɛteɛ sɛnea wɔreka
No, Nyankopɔn krampa mmɔ yɛ saa sɛ ɔbɔ yɛ sɛ yɛnko a sika a yɛbɛnya no yɛnko a na ɛdi a nka ebia nka wo koraa you are not alive. You see, nka Nyankopɔn nso amma wo saa ahoɔden no, nti you should know say you are alive because some people were alive, and therefore you have to keep some people alive. And that is why some people don't like even to pay taxes. But the one pay taxes, when I tax into, I know what tax money is used for. I mean, acquire any security, defense. I mean, welfare, make benefits. I'm talking about UK Grampo. National insurance. So I mean, person me tua bibia, person wo tua bibia no. National insurance ne de ye no ma miensa. Ye de tua NHS, and ye ye NHS and to kwa won tua consultation. Saa nso na sɛ obi ho kyerɛ na na ɛsɛ wɔn kɔgye benefit a ɔde kɔgye. Saa nso na o state pension ye de tua wo. Nti na tax na ankasa bi nso na de tuatua your friend is saying normal nyinaa defense ne your friend is saying road network transportation education all those things they might go university or tuition fee pay, but they don't pay for any other thing the facilities ne running course of the universities or secondary schools and the taxes are yet no and no be now more yes I don't know a government so the car say or the be then etua a car yeah no and sɛ wotwe ho firi mu a na wɔyɛ wadwene sɛ wode sika wobɛnya bia na yɛnko a wode a then you have to go and have your own island and live on it.
And what are some of the common mistakes people do? And I'm talking all kasane be fair. People the mistake that they do when they manage their finance at home. And how can
Wɔhu
they
sɛ
avoid that kind of mistakes? You know, niyama yeah, emwa.
being overly strict wɔhu sɛ okay but can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sometimes maybe a your spouse and your family and you're trying to make a budget and you want to spend so much. You don't want to spend so much. You want to spend this much. You want to get this much, but you should know. Say you guys are different. Obiawo some lifestyle be obviously at least some minimum level of lifestyle. It's not all the time when I spend this car more. Maybe also sometimes I spend it a lot. And one way, what the budget and the plannings are not relationship now. So you need to be a bit flexible to accommodate the fact that Oba used to extra because they have certain things that they do.
Yes,
And then a man, so sometimes you want to be a man, and so sometimes you want to spend a little bit more. The two of you should understand the needs of both, spouses or partners. Remember, say, but be a free cry no, be a free different. Your background is so bad, say, if you are not there to support some of them, it's going to be very difficult for them. Or being so free, or spouse also, or free, rich family, they don't need anything. Yeah, I agree, say, but some be a wakoma ska. Emma 50. On then your friend is saying, or the 50 qua, because they don't need money, it's fine for them. But there's another family that, so the 50 per qua, it's not going to be anywhere enough. And you have to recognize that. You have to accept that. You have to understand that. Say, hey, they are back home. Best spending a little bit more on something than the other. That is understandable because think I'm only now fifty back with the anchor and mama back home planet for that. But it's not going to be like that. Whilst being um very strict about your financials, you need to recognize the fact say you're not the same and that the finances may go against the other. But that is all right. That is what shows love.
That's the papa. Now, uncle, ɛberɛ a wɔkasa nyinaa na metie biribi. Na do we have to save for our retirement? No, to send you know. And again, do we have to save for a rainy day? May coming in our bone because of time. The rainy day, Sebia, was see yes, sika to hona, asem bi ba, yakopeja ediaba. And now says sika and ye buy and sembia no expenses ye tiare nasa as a family no, and who he asa.
One say, you always have to plan for the rainy day. And be more very strict rules about that. And into you would like to go on holiday. So but you don't have the money. But you can think about say, maybe the time coming for 50 pounds on for holidays. In fact, opposite Ghana pa na say one plan a little bit ahead is difficult. And to start thinking about say every time be as part of your budget, so even when your budget now say savings bam. So and the savings, maybe I'll make a savings towards a project be a more year. But then savings towards your unexpected expenditure. And now say towards something that well, I mean, because a bit my you wait my lose job near other things and say yeah, lose job now the first month na only enough crampa, not just a one plan year. And some people were saying, say, oh, as I say, at all times, ultimately up to 3 to 4 months of sika and the whole sebeya sebibisa obetum there. And you should always have savings. Now, we be say why account to say so buy one day, be my one day. I'll talk about that. Me believe personally say Obani be man so be our account because we be our credit history. So and it's about credit history, yeah, back credit history with my you should all encourage yourself so that your credit history is fine. But say back credit history, yeah, back credit history with my okay. If you put your finances together and say something goes bad against both of you, but notwithstanding that, if you say as a family, you should have a joint account. Joint account, be a modi say, but maybe oh, there will no. If 50 pounds got to me, 50 pounds got to me. And I'm a big man for 100, would about 20, 30, 40, 50, over to me. Yes, save towards something. And I say for the rainy day, as you're saying. And I say for Ukraino, sometimes you can plan for them fully until something comes up. And Saskano, we won't mean to but we can plan, say, you could be yard, baby. So, now, and wo account more account, but your account are joint. Now we can manage it together. Say, but say, money joint account kura na obiara keep on the entry. Assembly bar. Now, okay, about Fabibra, Fabibra. Where did I get the money? Like, sometimes you have to have a common ground. And it's important. My advice is have a common account, but have individuals account as well, and
Okay.
save towards any eventuality.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Henry Otabo Boachi Shea Free Maryland. Or say life or yeah uncle me that's it send ne oba ye na me papa ya wo hwe mi so wabaso because me hu na che papa ai baby I will be Otabo gifty wa wo yire ochi ai na daddy asama ye can life insurance ye can we ni nyina say ye more bibi to say investment in life any payete ho a eniyama ekọ so ye bi a savings no enye enough saa ebi a obehwe putupuru na bibia bebom eye say yet ho as human being and as a family ye benya life insurance ana eho hia eboa for that.
Insurance in are good,
Mm,
including life insurance.
mm,
If you cry, as I say, with me, your insurance, maybe we a house owner, you have to have, home insurance.
mm,
Sometimes home and contents, sometimes
mm,
home emergency insurance. Because we have now pipe or pie, and then you don't have insurance. But will be, yeah, na, how much they will charge you? No, say Bianca insurance company, no, from Mumbai, Anka, they come and do it and go. And so maybe I would track it to be a month. But some people don't think that way. Because
mm,
as some be see and send a wakofrobia won't be charging, boarding. But life insurance, um, it's not for you. Remember,
mhm,
so only so why never
mm,
na would they be able to survive without you?
mm.
If they cannot survive without you, how much would they need to survive? And there were different forms of life insurance. There were there, I say, so if you my family, maybe 100,000 or 200,000
Mm,
to to live with. Be one so na yeah, normally we have life insurance. Sometimes it's important to speak with a financial advisor until maybe some say one because I see I know no mamutin how much I must spend a month. So spend maybe 2,000 a month. And to say only horses here sika sign na on be here to make up to that 2,000. No?
mhm,
So on be here about 1,500 because more the 500 per neighbor towards the family finances. And in that case, say only 1,500
mhm,
multiplied by the number of years and so now be a mark or retirement and that's up to a certain number of years. Now you're multiplying and say, oh, and the answer now ma ebenyini from today. Answer now money benyi I could do some very independent and I say spouse call retirement maybe on so best your pension near that things meaning no. Sika say no be here. Now I insure. Be our insure. There's no basis for that. No one say I'm going insure £100 or 100,000. I say 200,000. You need to assess. Say, say I only who
mm.
um,
Discussing.
sika sign on be here every year. Na for how long? Because you say and grano na university maybe university 20 year at the age of 22 by 23, 24 no na master 10 year humanity. You like to ensure yourself with the value that will enable them to live up until that age, not forever.
Mm,
Um, NTS should be the basis for that. But life insurance is so important. Say, so niho na say, omo amaka no, omo best struggle financially. You
mm.
need to do life insurance.
Okay.
Otherwise, only where it will not be good for them. Until don't do it just because as you want to do it, and don't do it just because you want to show, say, and but do it because you care. Say, only while they will have to have a better life. Abia the same as you were there, and I say even better. And you need to analyze that and then work for your insurance, because how much you get back, depends on how much you pay on a monthly basis. And I said the premium will be to, and he said officer on here 20,000 every year in addition to what they earn for 20 years. Now, or much of how much will be to your premium will be to. The more you ask for, the more the premium is. And so that is what I need people to think about. Say, you need to think about how much they will need to survive for how long. But it's recommended, say, Obia Nibi, will be home.
Okay, that's it, papa. Nti wa woni bi no wabɔ mmɔden apɛ bi ato hɔ.
Life
Hello.
insurance, your banks, and insurance companies in the brain, so and it's not difficult at all. If you go to a money supermarket, for example, and you want to buy a life insurance, they will give you a lot of companies. Bebre reputable, you are Mudin Bapa, you seen Aviva, Royal Sun Alliance, way Barclays in the account. Amunia buy our share, then a reputable company, obit my year with them.
Baboa Busan. Yeah, that's it. Every say bi
Life insurance, yeah, regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority, which means so the BC Crown Pa, there is a compensation be a war, we are covered, you'll be protected. And you don't be afraid to say, oh, if you're company go, you will still be protected because they will be regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority.
somehow I can the name fair be metwa say because of cost of living now yeah so high and everybody wants to invest his money and I say obi apese oye bribi oye adwuma kra na opese oye bribi e de ka ho ene sika kra bia bebre aba niema bebre a ye di enye sika so obi internet yi so a we see oh obetimi atena wo dem no aye adwuma abra wo nkọ ba bia niema nti invest we ni ade ɛyɛ ade a wobɛtumi atu ho fo sɛ ɛbɛboa sɛ nipa bɛyɛ saa deɛ because ebinom deɛ ɛkɔ yie ebi nso deɛ ɛnkɔ yie ɛnɛ obi internet a obi ase sɛ woyɛ wopɛ sɛ woyɛ adwuma ɛka wei ho a fɛ sika wei ni ade ɛboa ɛno sɛ because sɛ hardship no nti yɛpɛ baabi de yɛti ahyɛ nti baabi a yɛtumi de sika no invest wɔ hɔ
ade bi wɔ hɔ a almost if it is too good to be true, then it's not good. Call the 10,000 clients to be no one at 20,000, 30,000 anyway. If it is too good to be true, then it means it's not good.
I need to be careful.
You need to be very careful because most of them are not regulated. When they are not regulated, that means there's a car. You cannot claim it anywhere, especially those on the internet. Now they are not recognized by the respective governments. Maybe our UK government doesn't recognize them, and you deal with them at your own risk.
It's true. Yeah, now what's your team because some Eddie can't crack catch it. Now so sika no ya na ahomete. I stress free say love. And Mr. Tabo, I order gifty more fire. You are doing great. Thank you. Yeah, damasi. Say be no be war asem bisa. So be war asem bia e fasika sem ho a obetumi ebisa Mr. Emmanuel Ntim ene metro se bisa na wo akwanya ewo ho so wo fi se wo ntimi mbisa nso a tro no bisa ama nti anadwi de Mr. Ntim ye dia bisa ne sikasem bia ho asem na obetimi ayiwa no aha elder should a family save for their future you know say baby na wo ka say so obi deka na opɛ sɛ wo save nti wo de ka ɛni kwan sɛ wo save wa ho na ɔsɛ ɔde sika no nyinaa kɔtua ka no na ade tua
No, I
na
didn't say that at all. The maker you
no
say, say
me
yeah.
na me bisa mo deɛ
Oh, okay, you.
na me gyina
Say what the
w'asɛm
car.
na wokaeɛ no
Say what the car. Ebia loan na wakoja. Na loan no okoje 10,000. So between £250. And it affordable. So because we have income now we have normal expenses no keka nyina boma. Na say what the sa sika na obetua for the loan no edeka ho still no ebeso so and that is fine, but make us say na wakwakobo busia a wutua and war expenses are be na can nyina bom na we compare with your income and so not just say imbalance expenses no plus the loan repayment no the credit card repayment nyina o kan bom ma be bro sika na wo nya na month no so also person will save. In what way are you going to do? You are only going to worsen your situation because loan no what's that savings now making a interest now being also no I will not be anywhere closer to
no ne
penalties
deɛ o
charges and the penalties no credit na ebe say no and unless your expenses are less than your friends and your income no try and deal with that first, and then you can start saving. And every will save every month. We will save a certain amount, and then all of a sudden something happens. Your income has reduced, or maybe every month your expenditure will go up, and abasa na be affected. Sika will be to my saving. Don't still stick on to say you want to save. Because school fees bi na aba mu wahu na school fees aba mu abema sɛ wo save a wontumi ntua school fees wo nso wonim sɛ akora yi a wohwɛ no school ya anaasɛ wo ankasa na wokɔ school bi a sɛ wohwɛ no wie a ɛbɛboa wo because now the child is not going to depend on you anymore anaasɛ wo ankasa koraa mpo no when you finish the school your income is going to grow and you'll be able to save better. So what I'm saying is, don't save when you know your income is not enough to cover your expenditure.
Okay, thank you. Mate wase. Na woka bibi credit score. Say yɛka credit score pa anything because I think say yɛne a yɛfrɛ bibre mu hɔ ba no. Ghana credit score bi wɔ hɔ mpo. Ɛna ɛnɛ ne bi a yɛbɛhu ne saa nti dɛn na ɛbɛma credit score no a waka no what is credit score and sɛn na ɛboa yɛn wɔ yɛn asetena mu titiri wɔn a wɔwɔ ama no ni ɛna hia paa ne sɛn sɛ wɔ sɛ nipa wowɔ hɔ a wɔma credit score ne ɛyɛ biribi a yɛbɛka ne sɛ frenchim na ɛyɛ mepaakyɛ wobɛtumi akyerɛ mu wɔ hɔ kakra.
Okay, so credit score, the basis for credit score ne say omo de ehwe say wo ye obi a say ye ba obosia obetua so wo ye obi a minim say be second wo betuma di wo ho ni enti ye hwe wo history eno ma wato obosia wabobo say ye ade a wato ana wo tuatua na kakra anaasɛ credit card na waje wo de tɔ ade ana wo tuatua anaasɛ loan na wakoje anaasɛ even overdraft anaasɛ anything bia na ɛyɛ bosia bɔ no sɛn na wo fa so tua ɛyɛ ade a wo mese anaasɛ bibi wɔ hɔ a wa default do bia wo so wo ntua yɛtwe wa na afi wo ntua nti they have that records ana ɛkɔ into your credit file. Nti sɛ wato ade bi na wantua anaasɛ watua late ne nyinaa ɛkɔ so ana ɛkɔ so sɛ red nti the more red you have no ɛno na ɛkyerɛ sɛ obi bɔ obosia a ɔno nso ɔbɛfesi the same situation na yɛfrɛ ne sɛ saa nkurɔfoɔ no a wɔde baeɛ no ɔmo ɛyɛ den afesi nti sɛ ya keka ne nyinaa bom sɛnea o history no sitia nyinaa bom a na o mama o score sɛ ebia 999 but 999 no wo be 700 700 na kyerɛ sɛ ɛnyɛ very very good but it's okay, it's average. Na ebia wokɔ 800 na sɛ wokɔ excellent no be about 850 860 870 na ɛkɔ 900 na kyerɛ sɛ woyɛ very excellent a woyɛ obi a o history kyerɛ sɛ yɛbɔ bosia na sɛ free wade a obetua enti yɛnim sɛ ebia wopɛ sɛ wokɔtɔ fie kura mpa a ɛno so yɛ bosia wakɔbɔ bosia na wode akɔtɔ fie no enti wokɔbɔ bosia for 25 years de akɔtua fie ka na o history kyerɛ sɛ anhwɛ a ebedu baabi na wontum ntua because saa na ɛteɛ no in your history no na nyɛ omo bɛyɛ den omo bɛka sɛ omo ma wo sɛ ɛbɛma wo kura mpa a ɛnyɛ risk bia go with the interest as so wotua nti ɛsɛ mo increase interest no na mo nya mfaso pii firi wo ho sɛ bɛyɛ a sɛ wantua kwa obi a wo very good credit history no so okota de kra the interest a mo charge no lower than obi a or bad credit history.
Okay.
And make sure say the obey be an obey no correct. Say ya dia won to muntua as I say mo so tentem say asem say na ba enti misremo momboa me sometimes mo atimo ma an arrangement anya ne nyina na omo de ma wa omo ba jawo sa sila no some of them were recorded say what want mantua sena yehye no nanso oma suti na say when you negotiate it's always going to be better than say obeyi wani man nipa pia unim omo fra wonten ba na omo hu letter omo ntia no onya hu say bank omo ba bedamika ontia no onya hu say credit card for ane yesi me metua abosome na so nya ada metua say no ntim mechiwo but then ebe call credit so na say nti ebedu baby na something has become so important say nka obebo bosia na ebia £1,000 keke kra na okopɛ bosia na yesi amount because ehwe a wontum ntua ebia kra na nka waduma ye kakra na so that's not the point. The point is that if your records are in
Atiase. Yeah, that's it, Papa. Nti if we na ekro no say wo to ade na wo yi waso. Yeah, the letter ne ba ne ma emails ne ade. Na bi o ho ebufu. Nti wanhwe ya obe ignore but it's not right. Any omon kasa.
the best thing to deal with matters and say don't ignore letters or don't ignore any communication.
Okay.
Yeah, so baby, so na what's the key advice? And I say no makasa than say obey ignore. Minimum maybe I'll be in a letter so maybe once or twice a year. The be our box BC nifie ura entrance for no box BC one. Ufra bon timbana letter o ma letter da wa fire no their tomb. No their tombs to the be out check na check na wo for months. To the be out penalty. Wako driver ko for be command the penalty. Wan be so na ye trono na ye de be ka ho to the be na ye court ko am na ma blacklist no de ka default in the ka ho nyina na ye de if anything because of £65 unti na ye de bailiff ba ofie.
Oh.
And it's all because you ignore letters. Don't ignore letters.
Okay. Nti in all no na ne wo ne yakeka nyina no ama ye huhia na Mr. Ntim ebinom say credit card enye how can you get your credit score se bi a wa amobosia na ebe den na wanya credit score no pacho
So obviously no mommy, okay, so men credit card no hasem and just say be a credit card and yet as such so credit card so is a form of bosiabo but and say your mount sika bi say obetim there atoto normal up to a certain amount. Maybe our credit limit is 10,000. Obet matter to normal up to 10,000. Na what you try. But be also na amount say be within 30 days. And I'll be 60 days, all the turn normal. Na say what you are in charge with interest be enti wakoto wo de credit card na koto ade wonim say £50 na de koto scan so anya wo de abosia wo de koto no so ohun say there is money that will be coming into your account obetim get ya na say o spend the credit card no e wo mra there's no money coming it means you will be in default na within the period na amount charge with interest on twemo so now yes I say charge with interest ya no interest na high, mostly very high. And me advice crampo say so piska da koye bibia ya nka okobo busia o banka sorry
Bless you.
busia banka is better than obey su credit card now. So it's not all the time ebi wa crampa na o credit card na o say oto ade bi, and so unfortunately no yentu awka yet aka akra bi na etu awka basanka yetu awka anka sa sika na yede tu awo no na wo de yeden wo de kwa akoto sa de no na enam se yenya ntua wo kan nti no o de credit card no kwa akoto na afi se yetua wo ka na watua se yetua wo ka na se wotua pe a unya interest wo na enam se watua on time no so nti no ebe build wo credit status no che se wo ya de wotua on time na ba wo ignore dia interest ni penalties no ebe doso na assign ma negative difference in results.
Wow.
But you had another question, Nana.
I no na why you me no nyina abo mama me.
Okay, that's it. You.
Why you me no nyina abo.
Credit card is not too bad. But what I said.
Ɛyɛ me sɛ nea na nka wo bɛka ho asɛm no sɛ bɛyɛ a wobɛnya o credit score no, it's not only credit card but rather no wogye loan kora na wotua ne yie anaasɛ utility bills ne adeɛ nyina wotua ne bra no a ɛbɛboa me yɛhu sɛ ɔyɛ nokwaredifoɔ meboa.
Nokwaredifoɔ, yes.
Okay.
Yo, credit card is all right. But making sure say anytime you are because say tua no tua say ɛbɛyɛ kora mpa anka nipa bi wɔ hɔ a minimum a mfa say on person to ade bi am the credit card na beto no transfer scanner from omo account and the credit card no so no more to so until omo interest on the credit card because they always put the money in the account to cover the amount now on my spending no but say unim say sika bia ma aba betua na say won so gusu spend there. That is only when you are in a desperate situation say when kwa na aka se man spend there and you mean to nya aduane krampo ni enti I know it's a desperate situation and everybody will sympathize with you for that, but where you know say adia me koto yi metima twen ama manya scans na makoto but me twen misika no so ba me mfa ntua, then you are in for trouble for yourself financially.
Right. Yeah, that's it, papa. And then some no one yaka bebre, yansu yegusu ebisa o. Na se bia na obi wo fie, na opese obisa biribia, na some ni bebre ya de ama me ha. Na me bisa. Nti so obi nso wo. So opese obisa, number ne ye 079618963117. 079618963117. Mr. Ntim, nya meka ne sɛ ene wotu yemfo a etwa to wo ma yehu ye sika sem wa me yehu ye hia se yetimi planning together ene ye mat ye budget na na se ye financial planning bia ye ne nkwala ni nyina ye involve yom na obia nso ntimi nkyerɛ na adwen obia mfa ne friend say ne nadwen a wo ɛwɔ ho ne emra na ekoba sɛ ebi a eja wo fie esan sɛ wɔyɛ bɛrima wo fie nti ofi sɛ ɔno nko aka ne bɛm ene ɔsi me pese me si dan ekyina ɔsi me pese me tɔ car ɔkyɛ he just do things ama abusua ne ho kyere na ɛdeɛn na wobɛka kyerɛ saa agya yi a wɔwɔ fie na ɔno deɛ ɛsiane sɛ ɔno na ɛyɛ adwuma nti no ebi kora ɔbaa ne nso yɛ adwuma no bi na ɔno fi sɛ ɔno na ɛka a ɛwɔ mu nti planning nti yɛ planning together no ntimi nsi ba ne ɔno deɛ nnɛ wɔka so wɔyɛ wei a wɔso wɔyɛ na sɛ bi a ɔbaa a ɔka ne ho wɔ fie ɛka sɛ mepɛ sɛ meyɛ wei a na wakyerɛ sɛ daabi ɛno deɛ ɔntimi anaa nkwalaa ɛpɛ sɛ ɔmo yɛ biribi a na bibi saa no dɛn na wobɛka ɛde ɛto yɛ fo.
So we are that's a way detector. So in the case of the question I was saying, we detector. You not unya the respect that you are due. On say pani de yana what na say na utie obia adwen na fe wadwen ho ebeboa bebre because at the end of the day no say what do family you will involve them in whatever that you do because you are doing it not only for yourself but for everyone. And I saw who say adwen nin pa ba kutim meka normal bia enkura nkito ya me ne omoti me mai say ye meeting na adwen amode ba sometimes wow I didn't think about that. So sounds na man so tie nti the fact is we bema you don't have to belittle anyone and think say unkwa adwen o team, otherwise you will fail. You will fail. And you will not be popular in your home, and that is the beginning of problems because and I'm saying one thing, you know, people try to find alternatives. And to work now, I minim set on the medical money, they are open and to me from mano. Maybe the bay me dear. And so say everything works peacefully for you. Involve everyone, listen to everyone. Also, any assembly a kafa omudia no ho a eno nti office enya you can bring it up. No money na ma discuss it. Enya ntokwa at the end of the day no wo na wo probably the head of the family, but the head doesn't mean you are the dictator. You are there for everyone, and you need to be peaceful, you need to love, you need to show concern, you need to accept everyone's opinion, and that will bring peace in your home.
All right. Thank you. Well, the sunny our kind on in your work, you know, mean to me maybe because there be a free or my gandem. You took quite bad broochery, any adi. Ya ba, ya be free baby me, you know. You perceive a tana broochery at the same time, you perceive a tana Ghana. Into a beer chanania. Teach you a baby before Ghana for the Obia peso cosi fear or Ghana just because a ho and I free. Obeshe na efie sika nye na esa bibia ye pagya yese ye de kofie eboa emankwala no omo ho to wo mo se bi wo ho na so omo de be ya fine na se bi ni ho na se bibia e benya de ani gye bebe bi e be kofie a eya de papa eboa na se ja e de na wo ka fa ho
Well, say you know about adwene say oh nka about few years be na yasanko, but it appears to say that has not been the case in most of situations. Now, obia also ewo pride the one mo say or person will show say otu kwan no on his way baby, but most of the time you know so no, we ourselves don't benefit much, and it is a fact. Say what's crazy on other yard there anka esenka adekro no wa ha anka yo ndwe minimo ma mbisa tambe na yebobra say if you go back to Ghana na yakobobra ana say ha ya yeti bra ya na yeboyi
and also cry na metimi bisa say
yeah,
boy 17 years to cry near the man now be 40 wa ha na 30 na aka no bechem say na ade mu 50 na ko Ghana na ade mu 50 na atena buruchi baby abeko bia
enti misra babi a wote
mm
ne babi a wo ya adwuma asese wo comfortable wo ho. Don't allow anyone to put pressure on you say because onyansi fie no nti no wo ye kohwede because nipa mienu baako edi ne sika nyina beku fie akwakoye ajapade a na wa ignore ne mana nkura na say abasa ajapade a oye no oye agukwa so because people look at you not only for what you have but also what you have, especially how I want to me manage home no ma. And whilst it is a good idea, say obey bibi e no, don't do it at the expense of your family. If you do that, that one too is failure. But you should also know, say, your mra obi wa hoden pa otimi ya adwuma pa timneska na your mra
yeah bibi ka
why mre nti bia normal nkoye nti you have to look at the time you can do things better nti bia bibi na person no ofie nti sisi am hoden de na bia efie enkurai anya nuru sam bom ho kakase nti meye me ho a se na bibi but eba se start say ye bom ho ka more no pa na me reduce
yeah outside the house
nani show more because they are your future so
right
and your future no fear no but future na o man and you have to be looking at them more at the right time and yes university they need you to support them financially. No, I'm going to build a house, but you're going to build a house not for yourself because you are thinking about them in future. Why are you thinking about them that way when you could think about it the other way by taking care of them? We know, say, I'm crying baby or what. Almost be school cramp, almost started some way, almost and ya almost salary crumple or high singing. But no more crowded that car same singing. But no more crowd to fear giant. That is when you have taken good care of them. So, Kakrabia, obey na chino. You don't need to worry too much about them. Say, oh, me pay mama pay because I'm going to be a chain. But one year is they'll be struggling, and then you have something in the house. I mean, back at home, and it's useless.
oh well
And then I'm out for back as a way because we're the Maya. Yeah.
yeah that's it Elda nyame nhyira na minim ye pa se nsɛm no me questions e wa ha man dru we kora me kanane ye de ba ya nwie afei na baby pa na adru ne kora adru ne nso ɛha ne bre ɛha ene bre ebe makwan edi ebe ebiti me ka se part 2 beba nti
That
part
is
2
what I
beba
was thinking. That's what I was
yes
thinking. So by all means, back up part 2. Yes,
part
you can think about that.
I but ebi a na anya na awotwe ebeba no senke be ye na awotwe ebeba nke be de sa man sa na awotwe a wa be comfortable my no yes so na ye nto aso because ensem bebre wo ho a ye pese ye bisa ewo ye sikasem ho senia ye bisi ama ye sikasem aye adwuma sen ene ye betimi mpo asave se ye nya ye wo amanone no na ye betimi atọ edan ɛdeɛ na wobɛyɛ no watimi ato bi because obi etobi bi and there is a way which we don't know yabɛtena obi mind so no ɛbɛyɛ den na woyɛ individual wo ka sɛ tax bebree yɛntimi ntua tax ɛyɛ den ne ma ne ba saa ebi and there is a way a wobɛtumi akyerɛ yɛn ama yɛtimi ɛho saa nneɛma no nyinaa ɛno nti ɛnɛ deɛ nyame ɔnhyira wo Bonnie Love say well spoken. Very interesting. Yeah, I yeah, that's it, lady. Now, elder, in me say, nyame a ɔma wo kwan de baa ne no. Ɔbɛsa ama wo kwan foforɔ. Sɛ yɛyɛ pɛ paa nka makoma so adeɛ paa nka next week nke yɛbɛto aso. but amane saa ada wobenya o time no fa EFISEM ehye mu mai ye wie ye kokora den na woka e de atwa to atu ye nyina fo we sikasem. Just a quick one.
So you heard Proverbs 20 verse 4. Wow. I say the sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. Therefore shall he beg in harvest and have nothing. Say, oh ya kwadro na aka say oh awom nti wonko out there enkoye adwuma you will not harvest.
And it's
Now
smart.
you will beg during the harvest time because na wo hye say awom nti wonko abonten enkoye adwuma. And nti de ben na wo betwa
Uchashi.
wontwa hwe. And during the harvest time no you will not harvest anything. You will rather be begging. And nti what I'm saying is hard work
Yeah.
pays. Let us
Please.
all work hard in whatever we do. Thank you very much.
God bless you. Hey! And that dear me program no me when say obia taditi. God bless you, elder. Obi akancho si nyame nhyira wo papa papa. Eno nti eha ena ene mede ma no eba abesie kyerɛ sɛ woyɛ obi a wodi EFISEM akyi a nneɛma a wobɛsua no ɛwɔ bia no wabɔ ɔbrɛ aduru baabi nanso wohia the insight of life a ɛwɔ sɛ wotimi de bɔ bra sɛ wo mpo na sɛ woamese a wo mma wɔ hɔ nti EFISEM amfa ani agorɔ na nnɛ nea yɛkyerɛ yɛ a ne sɛ manya akwadworo ɛberɛ a awɔ aba yi. That's it. Proverbs chapter 20 verse 4. Ebra awo bre abe no. Eno ena enipa nyinaa wanhwe ye. Awo bɛde wa mo ahyɛ dem. Na twabre ni duru a ebra na obi ani abre no otwa na buro no otwa ne mo no. Na wo sre. Eno nti si Bible kra na asa aka sɛ yenye sɛ aboa ntete a oboaboa ne nneɛma ano. Abra awia wo na sɛ sutɔ bere mu sɛ no wonhu ne wɔ abɔnten a na nkyerɛ sɛ waboaboa ne ho dada nti we will always plan sɛ ne ɛbɛyɛ a yɛfie anigyeɛ ɛbɛba hɔ yɛna wareɛ mu ahotɔ bɛba hɔ na sikasɛm di yɛnya sikasɛm ama abusua bi da bia ne ntɔkwa ɛwɔ mu yɛnhwɛ yɛn ntoto yɛyie nea wotɔ a ɛmmoa wo no gyae tɔ na yɛmmɔ mmɔden na abusua no anigyeɛ mmerɛm yɛda mo nyinaa ase sɛ ɛnɛ mo ne yɛn ahyiam. God bless you for watching.